John, I'm out here on 3rd Street, and over the past hour, I've definitely noticed a significant increase in not only snowfall, but wind speed as well. And that wind speed is having a huge impact on this powdery snow, kind of blowing it all across the roads, making visibility a little tricky, especially while you're out here making your morning commute. As of now, it does not appear that anyone has been hurt, but those sheriff deputies are going house by house, knocking on doors, making sure everyone is okay. Now, it looks like I'm standing in a completely dark area. That's because no one here has any power. And that's one of the concerns now as this cleanup effort begins. Downed power lines. We've already seen some CenterPoint Energy and Duke Energy vehicles rolling in, assessing the damage, beginning preliminary repairs. Give you guys a picture of how severe the winds were last night. As you can see behind me, that is actually someone's roof that has blown off of a house over here to my right, has traveled probably 30 feet and splintered its way directly into a garage. That paints a picture for just how severe those wind speeds were last night. It also paints a picture of how lucky New Goshen residents are that no one was seriously hurt. The Front Planning Committee is led by Lori Danielson, who I just spoke with moments ago, and she gave me some insight into what residents in the community can expect. And I said residents in the community because that's exactly who the planning partnership listened to throughout this process. Over the past couple of years, they've been taking community input, and they think they're ready to move forward with a strategic plan. This comes after several changes were made to Senate Bill 1, stripping taxpayer protections. Event organizers tell me they hope today's rally shows Indiana lawmakers that Hoosier citizens are serious about property tax reform. Knit community without water. Crews have been working around the clock to restore service, and now officials say there is finally some hope. Bird is the word here in downtown Terre Haute today. The ceremony this morning was truly something special. Morning, the people in line were already partying before the doors even opened. Revolutionary medical procedure that would change the sport of baseball forever. Just 40 minutes ago, the funeral procession passed by directly behind me. It was a long procession with dozens of THPD and Sheriff's Department's vehicles. Take a look at what the county has planned to hopefully keep this area a little more clean. Reporting in Terre Haute, Ben Verbanic, News 10. Patrice Rondrell, the victim Ron May, describes this incident as pure chaos. In the video which we are about to show you, May uses his cat-like reflexes to avoid being more seriously hurt. We do have to warn you, in the video we are about to show you, which shows the assault in its entirety, could be potentially disturbing to some of our viewers. That man that you saw jump out of the way was Ron May. May and his girlfriend had spent some time at the casino and were returning home in May's Corvette to watch a movie. May says his drive home was uneventful, that is, until a red pickup truck pulled up behind him in the driveway.
Didn't know what was going on, so I did put my pistol in my right front pocket. I told my girl to stay in the car, and I just stood outside the car to see who it was. At this point, I didn't know, did he just want some directions? I had no idea what his intentions were.
After May got out of his car, the truck rammed May at full speed.
There's just one man in the vehicle, and at that point he just let out some kind of battle cry and just floored his vehicle. The thing I could do is jump, take the impact, and then I pulled my pistol at the same time and defended myself.
Police say the driver of the pickup was a 35-year-old man from Bloomington, Indiana named Dustin Roker. But that is not all. Roker was completely naked during the entire exchange.
The police officer, when they got here, that I was fairly certain that the man was naked. I mean, at the time, I had no idea. I could tell he had a shirt off in the truck is all I could see.
May broke his right shin in the assault, and his girlfriend received minor scrapes and bruises. May is still shocked by the whole situation.
Take no day for granted. You have no idea what's coming your way. Definitely be vigilant, mind your surroundings, and you always have to be ready.
Now, Roker is currently in the hospital recovering from gunshot wounds sustained during the exchange. He is being charged with attempted murder, criminal recklessness, resisting law enforcement, and auto theft. Reporting live in the newsroom, Ben Verbanic, News 10.
An amazing traveled to Peru, Indiana this week. It's for the Von Lick Canine Olympics.
It's a week-long event dedicated to showcasing the dog's training and learning new law enforcement techniques. News 10's Ben Verbanic explains how this event helps Terre Haute police officers stay prepared for any scenario.
Yeah, bro. Coming. Yeah, bro.
There you go. Keep moving. Hold still.
The Von Lick Canine Olympics happens every August in Peru, Indiana. The week-long event is a destination for canine police units from across the country and the world. Units practice and compete against each other throughout the week. Awards are given to the units that tackle the challenges accurately and quickly. Ken Licklider is the creator of the event. He says this competition is all about iron sharpening iron.
Competition breeds excellence. And these guys, they work hard. They want to win this.
The Terre Haute Police Department brought 5 dogs and their handlers to the event. Sergeant Justin Sears is an expert in canine training. He's a judge for some of the challenges taking place during the week. He says this week is a valuable tool to help teach the canine units fresh techniques they can put into practice back home in Terre Haute.
When they get to come up here and showcase what they're doing and also find their weaknesses, and that's what this is about. Find something that you can work on that you haven't seen or haven't planned for, and go back and perfect it or fix it as you get home.
The dogs practice their agility, tracking abilities, finding illegal items, and catching fleeing suspects. I asked Sergeant Sears if I could wear the department-issued bite suit so I could get the full idea of what the dog is capable of.
I'm wearing a police department issue bite suit. I'm about to get attacked by a dog for the first time ever in my life. Hopefully this thing holds up.
Do you have any regrets about the decision you've made?
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll see you in about 10 minutes though.
All right.
And I can tell you, these dogs mean business. Officers commanded the dogs to bite me, release me, chase me, and of course, stay. It was clear these units are well trained and ready to serve Terre Haute. Sears says this is par for the course with these units.
It's become an expectation for our success up here, and that goes to our training and our deployments that we do in the city of Terre Haute. We take it very serious. Our canine unit's very professional, very well trained.
The event wraps up Friday with closing ceremonies and awards. Win or lose, the dogs at this event gave it their hardest and probably learned something along the way. Reporting in Peru, Indiana, Ben Verbanic, News 10. When 81-year-old Jan Engler opened her water bill for the month of January, she discovered she owed the water company over $1,400 despite not using any more water during the month. Desperate to get this resolved, she had the water company come out. They installed a new meter and checked for leaks, but didn't find anything. However, her bills kept rising. By March, she owed the company over $3,000. Now, Engler has listed her house for sale, all in an attempt to escape these rising bills. Engler is a veteran with 2 doctorate degrees. She says in the 4 years she has owned her house, she never paid more than about $200 a month. That is until she had a look at her water bill that was due in January.
It was due on January the 17th from the water company, and it was for 265,000 gallons of water, and I was using over 8,000 gallons of water a day.
For reference, the nationalstoragetank.com sells these units that hold just over 200,000 gallons, which is less than Engler's calculated monthly usage. To make matters worse, Engler's sewage bills were also skyrocketing to the tune of over $8,000 by April. Engler tells me she contacted American Water, who came out and installed a new meter. The company claimed that the water readings were accurate. Engler hired a plumber to come out, who told her that she might have to excavate her yard to get this resolved, and that the problem might go beyond the meter. She says that American Water did not agree.
Your plumber, and you are incorrect, the meters are right, and you just have to pay the water bill.
Engler said she spent countless hours calling the companies, the city, the Utility Regulatory Commission, and even attorneys. No one could give her a solution. A representative from American Water tells me that the company followed all state guidelines to help get this resolved. But Engler says she is done looking for help and is selling her house to escape the problem.
No one needs to go through all this and find out at the end, well, you must have used the water, there's nothing we can do about it.
A representative for American Water tells me the company has offered her a couple different payment plans and payment programs to help pay down that due balance. As for Engler, she's staying in an Airbnb while she house hunts. Reporting in Terre Haute, I'm Ben Verbanic. Budge. A core tenet of Braun's campaign included a reset of property tax rates and assessments to 2021 amounts. Voters were also promised hard caps on future increases. The version of Senate Bill 1 passed Monday afternoon includes neither of these protections. Braun says he was elected by people who voted for those changes, and he says he has a duty to make good on his campaign promises.
I've got many levers at my disposal. I ran on it and won with a near record margin. So I think that needs to be listened to by folks running local governments and school districts.
Braun says those powers include potentially vetoing the legislation. If you were passed a property tax bill that did not provide, in your opinion, sufficient relief for the taxpayers, would you be prepared to veto that legislation?
Definitely would be. And problem is, when you veto as a governor in Indiana, it can be overridden with a simple majority.
Braun could also call a special session. With a potential rate increase coming this November, this could get emergency consideration. Braun tells me it's something he's not ruling out.
I hope we don't have to go to that, but I can tell you I'm going to keep explaining it simply and make them prove it.
Governor Braun also tells me he has had meaningful conversations with Terre Haute Mayor Brandon Sackbun about this issue. Sackbun tells me that the conversations are still ongoing, but both he and Governor Braun are committed to reducing taxes for Hoosiers who have been decimated by inflation. In the newsroom, I'm Ben Verbanic.
Fire Department hosted local politicians and members of the media for a program called Fire Ops 101. Attendees dressed in full fire gear and participated in simulated exercises. This was all in an effort to increase awareness of the job and highlight the equipment they use. News 10's Ben Verbanic has the story.
They are the first on scene, running steadfast into certain danger with no guarantee of personal safety. Equipped to handle anything they come across and ready to save lives. But what is it really like to put on the gear and experience a live fire? Well, thanks to the Terre Haute Fire Department, I was able to find out. Participants were divided into teams and took turns going through different stations that replicated real-life scenarios.
Take a breath. There you go. Now, make sure we got this nice and snug right up here.
All right, I'm here at Fire Ops 101, and so far we've spent the day sort of going through a couple different stations. First, we practiced entering a smoke-filled room, retrieving a patient. Then we headed over to an EMS station, worked on CPR and some other life-saving techniques. Those techniques are pretty intense to learn. They're very involved, very developed, and very important. Now the station we're on right here is hosing down this building that is on fire. So what we've been doing is we've been going through one at a time, practicing dragging a hose line behind us, spraying down the inside of a building. Next, what we're about to do is we're about to head up this ladder truck right here all the way to the top and spray some water from there too. It's gonna be pretty exciting. That was so cool.
After learning the basics, it was time for the main event. I got to experience what it is like to be in a live fire.
Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Perfect. Let's go inside.
As the flames were shooting just inches over my head, I was incredibly grateful for the protective equipment and air tanks. In total, each firefighter wears over $20,000 worth of equipment. It's expensive, but clearly necessary. Chief Derek Scott says this event is a huge asset because they get to show local leaders firsthand how important funding for their department is.
Couldn't be more proud of my men and women of the department to be able to showcase what we do on a daily basis. And we hope that we make sure our community leaders and our political leaders are more informed on how to make decisions when they have to make that critical decision on allocating funding, salary benefits, or making a policy that might make us safer in the future. So we thank everyone that attended today. We appreciate it. I hope you're having fun.
We got one more decision to make, and that's what type of sunscreen to get on Chiefs guys. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Reporting in Terre Haute, I'm Ben Verbanic.